Welcome back to SwitchCorner. It's that time of the week again, 10 deals under $10, or of course your local currency. Now in this video we're going to be breaking down eShop deals for the US, Canada, UK, EU and AU. If you are looking for the cheaper side of the eShop though, this is for sure the video for you, and you're going to find it here every single Thursday. If you do though want to flex that credit card just a little bit harder, check out our Thursday edition where any price goes. On that video as well, weekly we do give away 2 $10 eShop gift cards. With that though, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and let's get started. So first up today then, let's kick things off with the quirky West of Loathing. It's coming in with 42% off. First up, do not let the stick figure visuals put you off of this Western based RPG. This RPG though, it's of the side scrolling variety, and while it may look, simplistic, it actually has a lot going for it, from its turn based combat to the wealth of quests and side missions. Then of course, like any good RPG, expect leveling up and inventory management. I was a little unsure of this one pre-release honestly. Like many of you out there, I'm sure the visuals just seemed way too basic, even if it was intentional, but once I picked it up I could not put it down. And this, I gotta say, is mostly down to the fantastic writing and the slapstick sense of humor. You set out to find your fortune, and you're meeting all sorts of weird and wonderful characters along the way. I loved every moment with this game, and you're gonna get a decent 8 hours of gameplay here for a single run through. Want more gameplay though? Check out the DLC that's also currently on offer too. That is Reckoning at Gun Manor. It's matching this one also with 42% off. Haven't played that myself yet, so I'm actually adding that to my collection. So next up then, Shmup fans, weird one for you now, but Blackbird. This is coming in with 50% off, and it's been a good 8 months since we've seen it, go on a sale. So now actually may be the time to make a move on it. Blackbird though, it's coming from the producer behind No More Heroes, and it's about as out there as they come. Here you'll be playing as a young girl who dies on a street corner and transforms into the title Blackbird, and now you're on a mission to destroy this kingdom. Absolute nonsense, but in one of those so weird it's good ways. Well, that story is about as deep as it gets honestly. It's mostly minimal. It's the gameplay where you'll find your addiction, along with an audio track that actually coincides with the enemy actions and movement. Here though, just expect to be flying, shooting your way through this world where your score actually determines which of the 8 different endings you will see. It's a nice touch because that drives up that replayability. That's also important with this one. It's worth knowing as well, because I gotta say, like most shmups, once you get good at this one, you can probably beat it in around 40 minutes. Check it out though if you do fancy something a little different. Now this one is worth nowhere near the full retail, but Tabletop Racing World Tour Nitro Edition. This one's an interesting one. It looks like outside the US it's had a permanent price drop, but here they are asking an insane $25, and to that I just say no. Right now though, everywhere it's a solid 80% off, and at this point I'd give it a shot. I enjoyed it for what it was. Basically see it as a 3D take on the Micro Machine style of arcade racing. Solid visuals, local play online, multiple modes, 32 tracks, power-ups, weapons. It's not perfect, but it's fun enough for this price point, and I enjoyed it. Never ever pay full price for this though, but consider it at this all-time low. It'll probably keep you busy as well for some time. It's got 180 events. Okay, so if you want a 3D experience that's inspired by the likes of Elder Scrolls and Zelda to a certain extent, WINDSCAPE. Full transparency, I am still working on beating this one, so take that for what it is. But what I've played so far, really enjoying this one. The thumbnail just screams shovelware. I've got to admit it, they didn't do themselves any favours with the design. But check out some reviews of this one first, because it's actually solid, and most reviews there will agree with me. Basically go on a first person adventure and solve some puzzles while taking down all sorts of enemies. The artwork is stylistic though, controls solid enough, and from what I've read we're looking at about 10 hours of gameplay total here. This one though, I gotta say, I spent most of my time in handheld, and the visuals, while they are basic, I love that low poly kind of detail look. It always appeals to me. It's simplistic in every area, but it's fun stuff, exploring the secrets of 4 islands that are just kind of floating in the sky. Lowest price it's ever been here. I wouldn't pay full price again, but this is absolutely fair right now with 66% off. Alright, so not really a deal, so a little different, but today we saw the introduction of the demo for AVICII Invector. This is a rhythm game set to the late artist tracks, 25 of them in fact on release, but this demo, it's giving you access to 2 to play with now, and I gotta say I'm really impressed. I noticed a few moments of slowdown, but they must have been loading something in the background. They were very minimal, but the rhythm action is fun, and you can actually check it out here right now with 4 different difficulties. as you pilot like this spaceship thing. Now naturally, being a fan of his music will no doubt help you get more enjoyment out of this one, but I'd say check it out even if you're not, because I was impressed with it overall. Also, look, respect to the creators and those that are involved in the background. The royalties from the music will go towards AVICII's foundation supporting suicide awareness. It's going to be released at a low price point in the next few weeks. It's already out on other consoles as well with good reviews, so maybe check out this demo. I'm all for those games supporting good causes though, so yeah, I just wanted to give it a quick shout out in today's video, and I mean, free is better than any other deal on today's list. So next up then, before we do get to my pickup of the week, Pinball FX3, they have a ton of tables on sale right now, 9 in fact. If pinball's your thing, I'd say check it out. The download itself is free. I think it comes with like 1 free table just to get an idea of the game. But then just take a look at the ones that are on sale. My favourite 2 right now though, with 50% off, their lowest price ever as well, the Jurassic World Collection, it comes with 3 tables, and then the Universal Classics Collection, which has an ET table, Back to the Future, and Jaws. No doubt an acquired taste right here, but they are surprisingly addictive once you do get into them, and I've actually been finding myself playing a lot of these recently. So my pickup of the week then, I've seen so many comments about this game, CATTAILS. Now as always, this is not a recommendation, just telling you what I grabbed personally and maybe you want to join me for the ride. Here though, reviews are solid the more I look into it, and basically it's an animal simulation RPG. It sounds weird to me honestly, and I'm not sure if I am gonna like it, but it seems people out there love it. Here the idea seems to be join cat colonies, hunt for food, fight other cats, make friends, and even get your romance on. With this one, it's for sure not gonna be for everyone, but the current 55% discount was enough for me today to take the risk. So FMV fans, now late shift, and for me this was the first like great release from Wales Interactive, following what I would call like the OK the Bunker. This one though, you're going to find yourself forced into a robbery and you'll now proceed to like prove your innocence. It is a crime thriller where you do nothing more than basically choose dialogue options, but it also has that like kind of London gangster vibe to it that just always works for me, and these games, they are absolutely just great fun, especially if you sit down in like groups with friends and family. With 180 decision points in here though, it's a lot more involved than you may expect, and you gotta make your decisions like super quick because you are on a timer. Multiple endings though, they also help here for replayability, and that first run through you're looking at about 80 minutes, which is fair for what is essentially a movie. 50% off though for something from this team is absolutely worth it. If that game's like super serious in its ideas, then this one is not. Freedom Finger. This crude shmup has just enough sense of humour that it may also tempt in like non-genre fans too. Here expect to be piloting a finger, and to be exact a middle finger, and you'll be out to take basically on the universe and destroy all those bad guys. It's for sure not serious, but the gameplay is entertaining. It combines like shoot 'em up mechanics that you're all used to, but with melee attacks as well. You are like a massive hand after all. The story is fun though if you like that kind of Matt Stone, Trey Parker vibe, and then the music's really impressive as well. It becomes almost part of the gameplay. I will say though, like if swearing and the whole like flying middle finger thing's a little bit too much for you, it also includes a censored version that bleeps out the swearing and puts like a little banner over the big old finger. I didn't actually expect too much going into this one, but I gotta say I really enjoyed my time working through the 40 levels. It's a solid chunk of content for what is right now 40% off. Another region exclusive now, this is for everyone outside of the US, Valkyria Chronicles coming in with its biggest discount yet, and this game is honestly probably worth more than the full price it's asking for, never mind the 60% off. It's an incredible turn-based strategy entry where you find yourself wrapped up in the second war between the Empire and the Atlantic Federation. Here though, you'll follow and control a squadron on their mission to basically end this war and find peace, and it is incredible. Not only though are the gameplay mechanics amazing, but this version includes all the DLC, the storyline is a hell of a ride, and the visuals, this like watercolor style, it's never been done better. This is by far easily the best way to play. This one is a must buy in my opinion, and we do have the 4th entry in the series on the Switch too. If you're wondering why there's a jump there, you know, the 2nd and 3rd entry, the 2nd was on the like PSP, so unlike this one, probably a little harder to port, and then the 3rd one, it never made it to the West sadly. I still like to think to myself though, with that 3rd one, maybe one day. Alright, so the final 3 of the week, and kicking us off is the mighty STRIKEY Sisters. It goes on sale pretty often, and I grabbed it not too long back, but this is the lowest it has ever been. I passed up on it so many times because if I'm honest, I thought it was like one of those shovelware bowling games. Turns out, couldn't have been more wrong. It's basically a brick breaking game. Balls come towards you and you fire them back. Except here we have a story where we're out to like save our beloved pet, and these levels are all accessed via an overworld map, so think like Mario. As would be expected though, progressively the game is of course going to get more and more challenging, with not only blocks in your way but a ton of enemy types too. This one kicked my ass more than a few times, I gotta say. Retro fans, you all no doubt love the visuals, but everyone else, if you can get past the visual style, if that's not your thing, you'll actually find a very challenging game here that's really going to drive you to put your best gameplay on show. So our penultimate game this week then, it's Death Road to Canada. This was an early buy for me, like back when it released, and I'll be honest, I don't think it's perfect. It's kind of gained this like cult following at this point that's almost blown its quality a little bit out of proportion, but I will say it is a lot of fun still, and it's more than worth the current like 50% off, and that's like an all-time best price as well. Basically the idea here is you're making a run for Canada, you're trying to escape a zombie apocalypse, and it's combining like story-based moments where you'll be making like loads of decisions with the occasional like roguelike elements. Basically decision-heavy experience where you've got to like look after a host of characters, made more fun though by its character creator, where you can literally put your like family into the game. I would check out reviews like first, it's for sure unique, but it's especially fun if you tackle it in local co-op mode. It's a weird one to explain though, but I think it's fair to say it's also well loved at this point, and may be a good time to finally jump in. So my number one pickup this week then was easy, Never Give Up, coming in with 50% off. Not only is this like the lowest price ever, but this is the first time we've seen a sale on this game this year. Also, this dev, they seem to do sales for like a couple of weeks max and then swiftly take them away, so I would maybe jump on this one while you can, else you may be waiting a while. This though is basically a hardcore platformer, meaning you're looking at Super Meat Boy, which is in no doubt the most popular in the genre. Here though, you start in a room and you'll beat the huge amount of traps put in front of you. Then the next one, it's going to take that same section but extend it just a little bit, just to challenge you a little bit more. It's great though because it means you naturally get to like perfect each section. This thing though, it even has boss fights, it's got 250 levels, voice acting, a decent little soundtrack, and the visuals, I love this like clean and crisp animation like style. A must buy and a hidden gem that will no doubt end up in my hidden gem series at some point. If you don't know that series, check it out every Tuesday. With that shameless plug out the way though, that is my choice picks for the week under $10 or your local currency. Now as always, I want to give a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It truly is appreciated, and if you want to check that out for yourself, it is linked in the description down below. With that then, like, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here, join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.